Hello, my name is Brian Cspar, Chief Scientific Officer of AveXis. I've had the privilege and honor of working with Monica of Rett Syndrome Research Trust, and we have been fortunate to have received funding in some of the earlier stages to really develop the gene therapy that we're so excited about today at AveXis. So AveXis has spent a tremendous amount of efforts and resources on developing gene therapy for Rett syndrome. We took data from my former academic laboratory at Nationwide Children's Hospital, which is being run by Dr. Catherine Meyer now and continues to do some of the preclinical studies. But AveXis is now moving towards actually entering into human clinical trials. And that's been a process to manufacture it and scale it on an ability that if we're successful, we'll be able to reach all patients with Rett syndrome. So we've focused on manufacturing, we're focused on a regulatory pathway, we're designing the clinical trials, and we're doing all of the sorts of studies called IND-enabling studies to really move this forward to patients in the most rapid, but also in the most safe manner as possible. So I know many families are asking questions of AveXis on how fast we're going to get to trials, how committed are we to getting to trials for Rett syndrome. And I can tell you personally, as well as on behalf of AveXis and Novartis, that we're extremely excited about the preclinical data that we have in a number of models of Rett syndrome, the safety studies that we have done, the efficacy data that we have seen really gets us excited to move this forward in a rapid but also safe manner. We're committing significant resources towards thinking about the regulatory path, thinking about the clinical trial designs, working with key clinical leaders to design those first-in-human studies. We're investing millions of dollars into the manufacturing of what we're calling it AveXis 201 for Rett syndrome. And we continue to perform the final studies that are investigational new drug enabling to take forward a regulatory pathway to initiate the first human clinical trials in Rett syndrome. I'm very comfortable on talking about, number one, our excitement about Novartis's interest in the gene therapy space, but also Novartis's interest in rare life-threatening neurological diseases, which would include Rett syndrome. I can tell you that I've sat down personally with the CEO of Novartis, and we have talked about how we can utilize the resources of the broad Novartis network to really move forward our programs, including Rett syndrome, which was a topic of our discussion. One of the strong aspects that the AveXis and Novartis acquisition, or the acquisition of Novartis of the AveXis gene therapy, is to really think about this as a platform. AveXis brings forward years of expertise in moving gene therapies towards the clinic, in thinking about commercial manufacturing and moving transformative drugs to the marketplace. We're keeping that intact, and AveXis is operating as a standalone AveXis as part of a Novartis company. So all of our employees are fully focused on moving our SMA gene transfer forward to patients and getting into the clinic for Rett syndrome, as well as our other neurological diseases, including ALS.